Okay, let's get this class going today. If you have a spare blanket, it's always nice to place it around the legs. It's quite cold at the moment because of the winter air, but even in summer, our bodies do drop temperature really quickly with our yin practice. Yin is a naturally cooling process, and so it can often, even on a hot day, get really, really cold while practicing yin. So wearing a long sleeve top and having a blanket can really be quite helpful. You're going to find yourself in a comfortable space, sitting on a cushion if it feels good, and gently closing your eyes. We're going to start to invoke the energies of our yin practice, which is softness, surrender, quiet, and release. It can take quite a lot of mental training to allow these energies into your body. Our Western mindset becomes very focused on in a space of being and doing and achieving, and often finding a place of quiet and calm goes against our societal conditioning. And no matter how open-minded and aware we think we are, we're still battling those ingrained concepts. So you're going to mentally give yourself permission to let go. So allow yourself a place of release. Shifting your mindset to encourage surrender. Noticing the effects on your physical, mental, and energetic bodies once you've allowed yourself to release. You may feel a massive shift. You may feel a minor shift. There's no right or wrong sensations. There's just simply what is. There are days where stillness is really evasive and we feel like we need to work hard to find it. And there are days where you almost immediately melt into a place of serenity. And then we can sit and enjoy. So wherever you are today. Take away judgments. And just be with your energy. And slowly start to lower your chin down to your chest. And gently blinking, eyes open. Lifting the face back to center. And shifting now to come into the half butterfly pose. You can sit on your cushion or on the mat, bringing one leg out in a straight line and the other foot to the inner thigh. And this doesn't have to be a very tight alignment. You can move your foot slightly forward if that feels more comfortable. We're going to gently melt the body forward here, allowing the toes to flop, allowing your back to gently round, and embrace the heaviness of this pose. Heavy through the upper body, heavy through the lower body. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath for a moment. And then sigh to release even further. In each pose that we move into today, you want to practice mindful meditation, becoming aware of your breath, becoming an observer of your thoughts, without letting those thoughts dominate, letting them drift away as they come in. For the last minute of this pose, you're going to rotate yourself to lean over your straight leg. Gently flopping. Relax into the alignment, finding your natural space. Keeping your chin tucked to your chest, slowly lift yourself back up to sit. Coming to your center, neutral space, lift the spine up tall. And then shifting to the other side. Stretch the other leg out. Bring the other foot in. Let the toes flop. Let the body relax. Coming forward for the first few minutes of this posture. And it's always interesting to note the differences between the left and right sides of the body, just to become more aware and deeply connected to the way that your body is structured. For the last minute of this pose, leaning over your straight leg, finding your natural alignment here. Very slowly start to lift your way back up to sit. Coming center, lifting upright. Grow the back of your spine tall, engage into your muscles. And then releasing here. We're going to bring the feet together now into full butterfly pose. You don't want to bring the heels too close to the glutes, a little bit further out, allowing for more space, and gently forward folding over the shins. You can either bring the hands lightly onto the toes, just make sure you're not gripping into the fingers, or you can place the hands onto the floor, wherever suits you. Just scanning the body all the way through to make sure there's no tightness or tension, and allow yourself to surrender. Very slowly unrolling the spine. Coming back to sit, lift up tall, decompressing into the vertebrae by lifting the crown up, pushing the tailbone down, strongly engaging into muscles. And then gently releasing. You're now going to come to sit onto your shins, moving into toe stretch. You're going to tuck the toes and come to sit on your heels. If this is very intense for you, you can always put your rolled up mat underneath your glutes, and that'll help to alleviate some of the tension. You can also untuck the toes if need be, because we're going to work into some shoulder stretching at the same time. We're going to take one arm overhead, bending your elbow behind your back. Hold onto your elbow and then give it a little bit of manipulation further down the body. Taking your other hand behind and interlocking fingers behind the back. If you can't hold onto fingers, you can use a belt or a strap, or even just simply hold onto your shirt. You want to make sure your neck is completely free here. We're going to take 5 rounds of deep breath. You can close your eyes. One more deep breath. Releasing the hands now, taking them back down. Come off the toes and sitting onto the tops of the feet. So now we're pointing the toes behind us, stretching the feet in the opposite direction. We're going to take the other shoulder over. Again, giving yourself a bit of manipulation to help reach the elbow behind the head. Taking the other hand behind the back, hooking fingers, strap, or even just onto your shirt. Remember to get your elbow away from the head so that you're not pushing your head forward, but the head is nice and free. Let's close the eyes and 5 deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And then gently releasing from here. Bringing both hands down. You're going to swing your hips to one side, feet coming the other way, and reaching those legs forward. Your knees might feel a bit tender still. You can have them slightly bent, and then just straighten and bend a few times. You may want to point and flex the feet as well to get the blood flow back down the legs. And then working now towards our supported fish pose. So you're going to take your rolled up mat about a 4 arms length away from the top of your mat. You want your rolled up mat to be underneath the shoulder blades so that we're working into the upper back, creating space for the chest and working into the rotator cuffs of the shoulders. So you may need to move it around a few times until you feel the space that works best for you. Your head must touch the floor. Your neck must feel that it is supported, and your arms should be over the top of the mat, so that the shoulders are reaching to the earth and the chest is lifting to the sky. Other than that, you are free to move it around until you feel where you're getting your most appropriate stretch. You want to make sure that your legs and lower back feel comfortable, maybe opening the feet a little bit wider, or maybe even bending your knees with your feet flat on the mat if your lower back is feeling uncomfortable. In our supported fish pose, it's quite nice to connect into our anahata or heart chakra. Focusing on the energy of the heart space. Visualizing a deep green color. And breathing in the sensations of love, compassion, kindness. Slowly lift yourself up out of your supported fish by bringing elbows to the floor, head to your chest, and gently drawing the hands back to the floor, lifting up, keeping that chin to the chest to support the neck as you go. Let's take us into our counter posture, which is child's pose. Swinging the legs underneath you and practicing with the hands next to the hips. If your hips don't comfortably touch your heels, place your rolled up mat underneath your hips, or maybe even underneath the chest if you find that your shoulders take strain in child's pose. You're going to practice with the hands next to the hips, the foreheads to the floor, preferably with the knees together, but if it's better for you to have the knees apart, that's absolutely fine. If your head doesn't comfortably touch the floor, you can always place a mat or your hands under your forehead. And in our child's pose, it's always lovely to connect in to that rooting sensation, directly connected into the earth's energy. Slowly drawing yourself back up to sit. And we're going to shift now to lie on our tummy for shoulder shoelace. So just moving all your props out the way to allow you to be able to lie down comfortably. Get your blanket prepared for the legs. And coming to lie on the tummy. So now you want to open your feet quite wide to the corners of the mat. Heels preferably pointing outwardly with the toes pointing inwardly. That's the best alignment for the lower back. For shoulder shoelace, you're going to cross your arms above the elbow. If you have very tight shoulder blades, very tight rotator cuffs, getting that cross above the elbow can be tricky. So you want to be as close to the elbow as you can. Then you walk your hands away from the midline, spreading them further. You rest your forehead or your chin to your upper arm, and then release into the space. And you'll notice if you focus your breath into your upper back, how you get a lovely shearing sensation into those shoulder blades. We're only here for 2 minutes, because this is quite an intense pose and we don't want to cause any damage. To come out of this pose, you're going to bring your top arm in front of you, followed by the bottom arm, and then just slightly lift the chest here, plugging the hands into the floor, retract the shoulder blades. There's a bit of strength into the upper body. And then when you are ready, you're going to switch the hands around, bringing the other arm on top. Walk the hands out either side and gently placing your chin down to your upper arm. Come out of this pose now by taking the top hand forward, followed by the bottom hand flat to the floor, slightly lifting the shoulders, slightly lifting the chest, firmly plugging down through the back of the shoulder blades to draw them a bit closer together as a release. Moving now into crocodile pose, which is going to be bringing your elbows into cactus arms, bending the elbows to the side. Take one knee out to the side and turn your gaze to that same side. And gently close your eyes. You want to lift your knee as high as is comfortable for the lower back. It should feel very relaxing and releasing into the lower back and opening into the chest. Slowly shifting this to the other side by straightening your leg first, and then turning the gaze to the other side as you bring your opposite knee out to the side. Slowly moving out of this pose by straightening your leg first, turning the face forward, hands under shoulders, and then lift yourself up through a child's pose. Not to hold the child's pose, but just to release any tension that you may be feeling in the lower back. A couple of breaths here. And then drawing yourself up, swinging your legs in front of you. I'm going to make our way into Shavasana. So making whatever adjustments you need to feel very comfortable in your Shavasana. And although we focus on relaxing poses and releasing poses throughout our Yin practice, our Shavasana is still vitally important for that last bit of surrender. So make sure the body feels spacious, supported, and warm. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Gently running your thumb over the tips of your fingers, moving toes, ankles, wrists, coming into a full body stretch, reaching the arms overhead, drawing the legs together, yawning or sighing, feeling as though you've just awoken from a long, deep, restful sleep. Bending knees and rolling onto your side in a fetal position. Holding here for a moment as you feel the energy shift, a lightening or waking up sensation. And when you're ready, coming all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Drawing your hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. We'll close the class by chanting Om once and Shanti 3 times. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Raising your hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, bowing forward to your mat in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open, inhaling to lift. Namaste.